Hi, it's Hazy and welcome to my channel Hazy Crazy Arts. Today I'm doing these, right, lots of hazy tips. Okay, lots of things you can make them for. I'll do show you an example of how I've used them, labels in the past. You can use them on anything. You could actually make these. You could go away somewhere, just take a few little supplies and you could make these. Take a few little scraps along, or you've got a leaflet, or you've got a magazine, or you know, you've got junk mail, anything crazy like that, or a plain piece of paper even. You can make these. Okay, that's a brilliant idea, something to do while you was away or something. Little kit, you don't need much. I just take what I've used really. Okay, then if you'd like to join me today, please give me a thumbs up, that'd be absolutely amazing, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and let's go. Right then, today I'm using anything at all to make these, anything at all, in as in little papers, things like that. Let me show you. Right, I'm trying not to do any printing. These, I have used rubber stamps on these. What if you haven't got any rubber stamps? I'll show you things to do. If you've got rubber stamps, amazing. That's a rubber stamp, yeah. Anything crazy like that, but I'm thinking about not doing anything like that. Let's do, say you was out somewhere and you hadn't got any equipment, for example, or you're brand new and you're seeing some labels and you think, oh, I'd love some of those labels, but I haven't got a printer, etc, etc. Well, you can do anything. Okay, this is a, what have I done here? Right, this is a background idea. Okay, so I've used this. That's my own faux writing. I'll go into that in a bit. Okay, so I would do this. Okay, don't just cut don't just cut one little square out. Let's do a mass mate with these. So you can do them any size. You can do big ones or little ones like this. You can make them thinner. You can make them thinner when you are, because it doesn't matter what size they are, does it? In fact, there's my thing. Let's use this, yeah. So what have I got here, and have I got any water? No. Right there, I think I'm ready to start now, yeah. Let's get a paintbrush. Yeah, that'll do. Paintbrush. And I'm using black. I'm just using that mop spray. Sometimes I spray from using a lot of watercolour, but might not be. I think black would go with this, so you could do this. Sometimes you can get them little watercolour sets. I'm sure they'd have a brown or black. Okay, so this is an idea, okay, of going round the edge. And that makes a label, okay. You've also got the idea of label, yeah. So that was actually my faux stuff. This idea. I think I've taken the thing out. Right, so this is actually what splashed on when I did that marbling. Oh, I love that. That turned out so gorgeous. And it looks so professional, yeah. So look, you've got a long piece here. I've also got a white piece on the back. Let's get rid of this. Well, let's not. Let's see what's on the other side first, yeah. So you could, any size, okay. You can make these any size. You can make them when you're doing your project, obviously. Let's try and get that off, yeah. And then perhaps you've got some of this with you, I don't know, or you have something like this. Because sometimes you haven't got anything, have you? You can make some little label ideas for something to do. Yeah. Okay, so that's that idea as well. So that's envelope. You might have an envelope, you might have a bit of colour. You might have something splashed on it, plain one. Let's have a look at the plain one. Right, plain. Let's see what we could do with a plain bit of ballpoint pen. Right, okay, I'm going to do some faux handwriting. Let's see. Hopefully I'll be able to get in close, but this is how you do it. Anything crazy like that. It's just making little loops either side like that. You can do it like that, or you can scribble a bit like that. And there's little gaps, and that looks like sort of faux handwriting, doesn't you can't see what it says or anything because it doesn't say anything actually. So you can edge that up with something. It's amazing labels, yeah. I know loads of people have done these, but I don't know if they've done them like me. I've done them loads of times. There's 1-2 years ago. I think 2.5 years ago is the last time I made these. Yeah, this is last year's calendar. It's just got the 2025 months. I thought to myself, hold on a minute, why am I cutting up this year's calendar? It's not. So if you want numbers, you like numbers, don't you? So for me, I mean, I'm cutting this out a bit rough, but you could be a bit neater. And they said meter, you can be a bit meter. What's meter? How can you be meter? I don't know. Right, okay, so half this, perhaps 2 rows, perhaps 1.5, perhaps 2.5, perhaps cut through the numbers like that. So it looks like it continues. Okay, I'm going to cut that bit off and yeah, say there, something like that. And you've got a few numbers on there as well if you like that. So yeah, numbers, yeah. I might put some watercolour. Let's put a colour on it. Okay, let's have let's have our favourite, aqua. So you can put, well, yeah, it doesn't matter if you want to make these plain. How about doing them plain, and when it comes to it, actually using them, because obviously you can mass make them with love, of course. You could then add the colour. Oh, I want aqua for this one. Let's put a little bit of watercolour on it, like that. Oh yeah, I've got another idea. Where's my... There's a plain piece of paper. Yeah, I'll use that's from the calendar. I don't know. Right then, so I've got these, haven't I? Look at all these massive points I've got. A new pencil sharpener, amazing. What's that one? Deep Rose. Let's try that. This is an Inktense. Actually, it's a watercolour. I don't know whether to set that to my advantage, but Inktense are watercolour. Well, the pens. Let's see if I can do some lines. Okay, do some lines and things like this. So you can make loads of these. I can change colour in a minute if I want, because I've got loads of different colours. I've got ones without, or not watercolours in that pot. So I'm going to do one of those. Come on, dear, we got to move down a bit. It's not very good at moving down, is it, Miss Ruler? Right, what colour? I was thinking about red, but the red wouldn't go through my pencil sharpener. Oh, that's a lovely. Look, I love this colour. Earth green. It's gorgeous. You can use fine liners to do this, but I want to use crayons for some reason. I've got that didn't do it very well, did it? What else we got? Mallard green. That one's an Inktense, so that will... We'll just do that for you because yeah, it's taken hours, yeah. Right, so what I'll do is cut down. I wanted a lined, I used a lined one in my, when I did that cat video the other day, when I was putting a label on my tag. So that would be nice. What I did was, I think I cut it, because it's one of mine that I made, so you can sort of like cut it to your size. If you've made them, you're not spoiling a label. Anyway, this is easier. You know, like when you're cutting out, you've got to cut out them little labels on the digital, haven't you? You've got to cut out them, and you've got to Unless you want to use a whole sheet. I don't know how you're going to do that, but yeah. So, right, so what I'm thinking of doing is just adding a little bit of water to some of this, because it should spread a bit like that. Well, as I'm working on it, let's do that. That might make it a bit more. Yeah, that's a calendar thing. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so got a little bit of colour on that. You don't have any colour at all if you want to do neutral. There we go. Let's see if we can. And you don't have to do this. There's the other method. I don't think I've got a. Have I got a Stabilo black? Oh, well, I've got a blue. You've got some a watercolour like this. What colour's this? Lagoon. That's a blue as well. But you can, if you've got your Stabilo black, which I haven't got, yeah, you can add a bright colour to the edge like that if you haven't got anything else. Yeah, you want to add a bright colour. Thinking about my Stabilo blacks, which are, I've seen in a packet somewhere. There's 5 of them. I thought, oh, there they are. Says I putting them away again. Yeah, yeah. So that makes a beautiful label. Love it. See, that's so easy to do. And then you've got these that you can do the same with, or yeah, you cut them to different lengths. You might want a square one, so you could add a little square like that. Yes, and then go around the edge with something. So there's lots of things you can go around the edge with besides just inking up. A lot of beginners, oh, they love using this. They love to get this. They say, what are those things that people use? So this is what they use. These are, well, this is the one you can buy more readily, which is bigger. What these called? Daubers, or you what are they called? Well, I can't remember what they're called. Like inking something. Yeah, so you can make gorgeous little things like that if you want a bit more of a sharp thing. The thing is, you don't want to go like this. You don't want to put your and then have to draw around the edge, do you? You want something that's gonna be automatic. I could actually use, see, watercolours are very useful. I'm going to use black because, yeah, so this is a, say this is a pen, you can use a marker or something like that and go around the edge like this. So this is a pen. Imagine that's a pen or a marker. I just realised they're down there, aren't they, in a bag. But that looks good. Nothing wrong with that. So there's a mini one. So I'm going to add this to all to my little little snippets. Okay, right. I've got, have I done this one? You can just add the ink, marker pen, anything like that, watercolours. The watercolours are very versatile, probably cost less in the long run. I'm getting it all over, but that won't matter. What you could do, if you want, if you don't want that, is just add a few more, yeah. And another thing you can do, so if you want to make a neutral one, and you think to yourself, hold on, that over there's orange, let's have a little bit of orange. You don't have to do orange, obviously. It's whatever colour. Let's get some bright orange, just in case you've got bright orange to add. Okay, so you could add a little bit, there's a little bit of, say there's a bird, it might be a swallow, something like bright orange. You could perhaps put some dots on part of that, and then what other colours might they be? They might be brown, so you could add a bit of, add it in the space where there isn't anything. There you go, and there you've got a, I'm going to put, shall I put my fingers on it? Yeah. Oh, there you go. Oh, that's not even brown, is it? It's purple, but never mind. Purple or brown, alright, okay. Whatever colour it was. Cut that off. And then, again, I'm going to put some black around the edges. And you can be more careful. It'll be more accurate actually with a pen if you've got a marker pen. But I like a bit of artiness. In other words, anomalies. I like a bit of anomaly in mine. And I'm going to put some little, you can do some, and then you leave it to dry, okay? You can leave that to dry so it doesn't, yeah. Let's see if I've got anything else interesting. Painty papers. I've got some painty papers here. This was just hanging about on the floor. Look at it up. This is what happens, yeah. It was hanging about on the floor. So this is how you admit things. And everybody says, why don't you tidy up? Yeah, I'm going to, honest. I am honest. Right, so you've got things like, you might have a bit of script on there, something like that. And, ooh. And I'm going to use perhaps, that's not got any writing on this one. So I'm going to put some, let's say that green there. Ooh. So this is just a piece of painty paper with some script stamp on it. Okay, so you've got stamps, you can use those. The thing I'm not saying is use digital. Don't use digitals. Ha ha. No, you can use the challenge is don't use your digitals. Okay. Use the scraps you have already, because you can use all your scraps to make things like this. There's one. That must be a rubber stamp I did there, and that's marbling on the back, so I've got a choice there, but that's obviously what I was going to use. It's a foam stamp, it's a rubber stamp. It's not a foam stamp, because foam stamps I can't do that small. Right. Okay, so they're cute, aren't they? So these are the cute ones, aren't they? Yeah. Let's see what we've got. Got things like this. So I've done this. I've done a few, haven't I? So yeah, and that one. And obviously you've got these to carry on with. Oh, I did that the other day, didn't I? I did some mark making. And that's on some paper that I've used I've done predictive text, so that could be book page. You can always use that. That's the brush arrow is actually what I've used on that. That's not digital, that's original. Thinking about cutting some of that. Look, there's that grid shape there. That's interest, isn't it? Let's take some of that. And so I'm grabbing anything off my desk and just, you know, you can make them anything to a label. Okay. Yeah. So you could use book pages, pictures and book pages, magazine pages, photographs, anything. Photographs as in, don't rip your own. Oh, this is, I know what that is. Yeah, that's that stuff I did. I've got the double-sided tape on the back. So that's already done, isn't it? So I could do that. That's another one you could use, another idea. Double-sided tape on the back, and then but then you've got to peel the double-sided tape off, which is a bit of a nuisance. Yeah, so you sort of like turn it around and then try and drag down the thing. Well, I'm not going to do it now because I want to use this, but you try. That was on my knee, not on my knee, near my knee. Right, and see, that's interesting. You've got interesting things there, so that could be a label. You could add a bit of mark making to this, circles. You could also add a border without having to go around the edge, faux stitching, things like that. Yeah, there's all these ideas. I've got loads of ideas, yeah. So labels are anything. It's anything it adds interest. Let's see the ones used for my cat in more detail. That was a rubber stamp. What have I used on that one? That's a rubber stamp. So it's not much different to this actually, because although that's not a rubber stamp, that doesn't look much different to this. So that could have been any little marks on there. You don't have to use rubber stamps. There's the other one. And that's just some line. Oh, I did that myself. Oh, that is a digital. But yeah, I just did a digital. That is a copy of my own work though. That's probably a rubber stamp as well, actually. Yeah. So that's the sort of thing I've been using there, but you don't have to use that. You can use absolutely anything. See, because I've got to have these. I don't know if you've seen the other video that I haven't made yet, but these are the ones I'm using. So I've got, what I'm doing is this, and there's another video, then there's and then there'll be this video, hopefully. Yeah, so anything crazy like that. I think that these look amazing, and I can't wait to make the other bit to it. I'll come up with this idea, and I thought, yeah, that's a foam stamp. Foam stamp, anything. Yeah, look, I'm going to cut that bit. That's added interest to this label. Okay. You can cut it square. You can use punches if you want to get it square, if you've got punches. But I'm just using scissors because I'm thinking perhaps people might be complete beginners. And it'd be amazing if you could tell at least one person about these, and then somebody's going to say, if you're in, yeah, that's a good point. If you're, if you have done something new, let me know, please. That'd be amazing. I could cut a lot of that up to be these. I mean, I can cut a bit of that black off, but yeah, not going to. Yeah. And yeah, they're my own foam stamps as well. So the numbers and the circles are my own. I show you how to make, I don't know if I show you how to make both, but I tell you how to make the numbers and probably tell you how to make those, because you can make your own. Don't have to buy them, and they're very, very cheap as well. A lot of people will know that already, who already watch my channel. So lots and lots of hazy tips. Yeah, there we go. I find these quite relaxing to make because you've got your watercolours. You can use tweezers as well, yeah. You've got tweezers, which I have somewhere, yeah. And things like that. That's quite, even though that's a thin piece of paper, it's not going to bend. I had to squash that. See that? I had to squash that just to pick it up. Yeah. Yeah, see, that's easy. Oh dear, that's easy. I mean, if you do things like that, it doesn't matter what size they are, does it? You do, wait a minute, I'll show you a minute what I mean. I've made that quite thick. You could cut that bit off if you didn't want that. I'm going to leave it. Right, what else was it? This. Right, so I've got a piece of scrap brown paper that I've been dripping my marbling on again. Okay, this is craft paper. I could make loads of labels, lot. Okay, so you've got an idea. Okay, as well, so this, and you could see what I've got in my bag. Let's have a bit of mark making, for example. Let's do some, oh, this was a fairly new pen. You can do absolutely anything on these labels. It's just, yes, just sort of that, you know, you can sit there relaxing, doing a load of mark making. You can make them thinner, longer, anything like that. You could cut that in half and have a nice thin label. Oh, here's a marker. This is what I mean, look. No, wrong one. I've just got a brush on the end, so brush would be easier, but it doesn't really matter. You can use a normal Sharpie. Okay, let's do a little mark like that. I just like doing it with the brush, that's all. Yeah. You can hear a pin drop. Right, there we go. It's even quiet outside, there's no traffic. Right, okay, don't like anything crazy like that would absolutely do. As I say, to use anything on labels, as I showed you with my cats, my cat tags. What's that? Has that got anything on it? Oh, that's got this. It's got a Royal Mail stamp. Royal Mail thing on it there. With some pink. Let's get some fluorescent pink. There you go. So I've had that in pink, why not? You can also add some little dotty things, yeah, anything you do that in your own colours. You don't have to copy me unless you want to do that as well. Copy me. I don't mind copying me at all. So yeah, if you want to copy me almost exactly, or as most exactly as you can, that's no problem, because that's how you learn. Let's do a pink numbers. Pink numbers. Yeah. And then let's have some, this is purple. I know it's not black because black's over there. So everything gets in the way. You've got to sort of like, and then you're going to cut that up in a minute because it was in your way. So you're going to go in a minute. Yeah, purple. So brights. I'm going to colour down there because I'm going to, that's where I'm going to cut. It's a very, very arty label, isn't it? Oh. Yeah, there we go. And then I put something. So is that gold? That's gold. I'm going to add a bit of gold to that. Make a feature of your mistakes. That's a good idea, yeah. Not a mistake, really. It's just a piece of art, isn't it? Oh, artiness. Maybe you can see it very well. I've got the light on here. The reason I've got it's not that bright, I've got the curtains closed. Yeah, so that will dry like that. Hopefully nice and mottled like that. Yeah. Yeah. So if you've got this mark making stuff, that's amazing. It's the different colours. You can use all that for labels if you want. That's got double-sided tape on the back. So you can use absolutely anything. Yeah, there's another one with the backing painty paper, actually gel press. I was thinking you can use plain cardstock, cut a strip or cut square, you know, cut a bit and then cut squares out of it. Yeah, anything crazy like that. So I've showed you lots of little examples of things you can use. Let's say magazine paper. Yeah, you could use things like this as well. If you, oh, look at a cute little bird. And then you could use this sort of thing for a label as well. Tape it up. Yeah. Oh. I've used this. I mean, this is a digital, but what I've done is just written things and listening to something. That's sort of faux handwriting-ish, isn't it? And then I've done things in actual, yeah. There's a few friends. I was listening to something, and have you worked in this church? Did you work in this church? You know, things like that. There's that. So I was doing it in French. Yeah, this is probably faux French. So what I could do is say, cut a bit here. Yeah, and that is what I've done there behind. Is it gel? I think that is actually gel press. So gel press is, oh, it's loads of fun. The press is expensive. If you want a good one, it is. Yeah. Yes, I wouldn't go for the cheap stuff. Yeah, so cut yourself something like that would look amazing, wouldn't it? As long, you know, if you want to do a neutral one, more neutral. Let's use one of these and just ink it. Yeah. So my new favourite colour to edge with is Scorched Timber. So Scorched Timber, yeah. Yeah, so this is oxide, okay, so if you're not familiar with, this is the thing people like to use. I know there's people who already know, but Distress Oxide or Distress Ink to ink your edges up, which is what I know that's what I wanted. Oh yes, I want some of that when I was a newbie. So, probably still am a newbie in some ways, because the people out there who, yeah, I'm talking about you as well, not just the person, you know, you're not. You are amazing. Because there'll be something you think about that's unique. And you might not have a channel or something like that. You can do your unique thing. Okay. And it's not quite unique. There's no such thing as quite unique. I learned that when I was doing English at college. There's no such thing as quite unique. It's either unique or it isn't. Can't be quite unique. That's to mean quite interesting or something, but nothing is quite unique. Right, there. On that note, on that revelation, I do want to say that I do hope you enjoyed. Yeah, that's trying to escape already. It says, I'm finished now, that's it. Yeah, so I do hope you enjoyed today. I've got lots of, see, I've added to my little collection. Haven't even been around the edge of that actually, which I think they look better myself personally. It's a personal preference. And they've got edges. You ink them up, so if you haven't got anything to ink them up with, there's nothing wrong with using a pen. Okay. How about that? Yeah. Okay, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with having your own ideas. You might want to, yeah, experimenting. I mean, you might discover something. You might think I could try this, it goes wrong, but then something else comes out of it. I've done that even on video. So, yeah, what video? Loads of times actually. So that's got numbers, so that's a little calendar idea. Your lines, you can use lines, you can draw lines with a biro like this. That's plain paper. You could even draw them freehand if you haven't got a ruler, and it doesn't matter to go wobbly because it's just a label, it's nothing exciting. So it's just creating marks really. That's fairly straight, isn't it? And that's another thing you can do if you haven't got and you want to do a postmark. You can do them by hand. You can either do those straight ones or wobbly line ones. Yeah, so that's interesting. Okay, I put my thing away, haven't I now? Me paint. So I don't want to go, right, so I like the way that encroaches. That's green, isn't it? But that's must have green on it. It's actually scorched timber is very dark brown. Yep, so that makes one of those gorgeous little labels. You could even put writing on if you wanted. You could write something on there, or stamp something. That'd be quite good. Stamping a number or something on there. Yep, so you can always use stamps, anything. Brown paper magazine junk mail, which I haven't used yet. Where is it? The other day I was using this. This is junk mail. And it's got stuff I was putting on there just for the sake of it. Okay, well, using it to actually get the stuff off my roller. And the official term is supposed to be Bray. I don't know how to spell it. I think it's B-R-A-Y-E-R. I'd also add white to this to lighten it up. And there's your label. That's another one. So easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And then you could do, you don't have to do any of this, but yeah, circly things on it. Perhaps like that. Just on one bit. And that makes a label. So yeah, so these are the ones I've made today mainly, aren't they? I mean, I think there's a few somewhere else that I've made previously, 2.5 years ago. Yeah, so I want to use these a bit more, didn't I? Yeah. And there's some other things I can use. So anything you could use, do a load of those. That's a piece off the end of the calendar, I think, isn't it? And I've got some. Still got some of that envelope to use. So brown paper, book pages, or you could create your own predictive text and put that. So if that's a, so you could change the typefaces. You could put the same predictive text, change the typefaces and print those out. Piece of marbling paper that I haven't used, that I forgot to use. But there's this edge bit here that's quite interesting. This is the one that went sort of wrong really, because the paper is so cheap. Well, I don't know, it's cheap. It's something. There's something about the paper, and I'm convinced that copier paper would not work with marbling like inkjet does, and photo paper, but inkjet's cheaper. There you go. So yeah, I've got these things coming. Still got ideas coming out of me. There's been something I'm thinking, oh, I've forgot to tell them this, I forgot to tell them that. Yeah. So let's do some. I was trying to do some lines on the side, but it's not decided not to. Right. So yeah. So something, anything. Bit of mark making. So I've made all those in that few minutes. I could have made loads more, obviously, but I've, you know, left it off and tried something else. So I think these are the ones I've made today, yeah. quite a lot. Out of anything found on my desk, found on the floor, treading on everything, yeah, so it's all screwed up and all that, but it's not now, it's fine. Whatever I used, I can't remember now. But yeah, it's this one, so nothing wrong with that. Didn't throw it away. Right, if you like my content today, please give me a thumbs up, that'd be absolutely amazing, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.